They did that with that one. Hey, lovely people, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Good morning.
Good morning.
That was a ethnically cleansing flow.
That's what we try to do.
Yeah.
So I didn't even do my little hey. Y'all already know. Listen, we got a great show planned for you today. I'm excited. 'Tis the season. It's that time. Y'all already know. Let me see. Can I stand up? Yeah. There we go.
Do it, girl. Do it, Mel. Do it.
Do it. Look, get it all started. Let me see here. See, this is how, let's see how I do it. This ain't no game to me, okay?
Right.
See, check it out. I need everybody to pay attention. So I can pull these out.
Yes. Yes.
Pull them out.
Melanie.
Steelers.
I
Talking about.
I feel the haters tuning out. Be careful.
They'll be all right.
They can't take such magnificence.
Magnificence. Listen, it's the real for me. I remember somebody back in the day, somebody was asking me for my phone number. So I gave my phone number. But I gave them my phone number. I was like 330-746-3680. No, I didn't say 3686. I was like Bettison Ward. That's what I said. They was like, huh? I said, yeah, don't even waste your time.
Yeah, if you don't know, if you can't figure it out.
Don't even waste your time. That's what I said. I was like 330-746 Bettison Ward. And a dude that was sitting next to him, he was minding his own business. And then he looked up, he was like, Bettison Ward. He's like, what's up? We still cool to this day. Still cool till this day. I'm telling you. Fun. So it's that time. So y'all get ready for the football season. Listen here. A lot of people don't know. That's my thing. The Steelers is. This ain't no game. Been that way. My cousin, look, Darnell Clark. Shout out to him. We was the only ones that was like still loving the Steelers, like back in '86. That was my thing. I liked it for the colors, and then I kind of got into it. And we weren't that good back then, but it was what it was with them electric football games.
The board? Oh, they don't know about
that.
Yes, my cousin had one of those. Those was so annoying.
When they do what they want to do. Listen, and I
It-
remember I used that as an example to how God probably feels. Like looking at us with the electric football boards. It was like, okay, I got my men here. What in the world is y'all doing? I lined y'all up. Go that direction. Go back. So that has always been like my analogy. I said that could be frustrating because I used to be frustrated like a mug. They just did it wherever they want to go. It's like, listen, we had a plan. This was the plan. And y'all are messing up the actual plan.
It's like
go ahead.
We were allowed to use our imaginations back then to have fun. Now everything does everything you tell it to do.
Yes.
Back then had your men and he's gonna run through the middle and blah blah blah. Certain people used to put magnets under their men and stuff like that. So yeah, those are some good times. Good times.
The good times.
Yes, they were.
Well, you know what? At least they have. Speaking of the football, little old school football boards, and now it's nice to have the colleges getting paid. What's your thoughts on that? And you playing football. What's your thoughts on that? Go ahead.
It's like it can be a curse. It's like lotto winners.
Go ahead.
Right. The NIL deals. I'm glad that they're giving something back, but these dudes are making millions from nothing. So that's a quick hit. And it's hard. I don't have a good relationship with money to this day because of my non-NIL deals. But, being a high school, young man on the streets of Youngstown back in the day, but my relationship ain't good with money. Now, imagine giving a teenager $1 million and he can do some nice things for his mom and stuff like that. But that's if he's ready for that. I mean, there comes a whole different world with that. I mean, and we're going to see it. We're going to see it. expensive cars being bought. You know, I mismanaged the money this time. Now I got to go back to selling. It's I
Now
don't.
you went all the way back to selling. I'm like, dang, what if they weren't exposed to that? Like what?
Well, they're going to get exposed to something because once you get that type of money in your account and you don't have to worry about it, it messes you up for life. I'm 53, and like I said, my relationship with money ain't where it should be. I'm because of my NIL deal.
Those private ones, the under the covers.
Yeah.
But listen, I agree to a certain extent. I don't think it should be in the millions. That's ridiculous. I love the fact that they are actually using some of the faces on the video games.
Mm-hmm.
But you see the money in the video games for the young people.
Yes.
Like we had what? ColecoVision, Atari,
Yeah,
Mobile.
right. So now they are getting paid so much money in the video game betting. So I can only imagine. I can only imagine like how it's going to be. I'm happy that they're getting something because a lot of parents are, struggling and their child got to work. A lot of people, what is it? Don't quote me on these stats. Y'all correct me, Shop Talkers. I believe it was like 80% of the people that got scholarships, like sports scholarships to college, the parents were struggling. So they came in and they're saying that in our community, that's what we bank on, which is so sad because I did hear, a young person, say, well, I'm not going to be able to go to college because of A, B, C, and D. But I did tell you guys too, that a 22-year-old, it was like 2022, they were shocked that they were still alive. These are our young men. That was an issue.
Well, think about it. Ocho Cinco, Shannon Sharp, Deion Sanders, they all come from very poor, very old. Shay Shay didn't even have indoor plumbing.
Right.
He was raised without indoor plumbing, and it rained on him when in the house. So, I mean, they come from.
But that was their out.
That was their out. And
so
I mean,
now, so with that being said, even we know, like from Ohio, what happened and all that extra stuff that went down. We won't say no names until I get them on the show. What was happening? And it's like, well, let me help you. Let me feed you. You know what I mean? If you don't know, and it was held against them. But now the colleges were getting paid. The colleges was getting paid.
They still are getting
paid. But y'all can't even feed me.
Yeah.
I guess they figured education is fair exchange, is no robbery.
Who was it? Jamin Winston got suspended because he was stealing like crab legs or something like that because they weren't getting paid, and it was deplorable what the colleges were doing for so long. You know what I mean? You couldn't legally pay. Back in my day, they couldn't give me a shirt and a t-shirt and a hat with the college on it because it broke the rule. But yet
they can steal your number.
Oh yeah. And then the people come to the stadium to see me because I used to move the crowd. You know what I mean? Back in
Eric B. and Rakim. That was the time.
Right.
I should have prepped you, but yeah.
Yeah, you should let me know you was gonna talk about that.
Just like that movie The U. I mean, the University of Florida built all of downtown Florida. SMU with Eric Dickerson and them built downtown Texas. It's billions of dollars they generate. That's why they can give you $1 million because you're still making me billions. They're not going to pay you as much as they're getting.
No, of course not.
We're gonna finish the hot topics, but I gotta slide in our special guest today, which I had to get on. I'm so grateful that she decided to come on and Shop Talk with us to let us know. I call it politics, but she's gonna break it down and explain the politics and what's going on and the importance. And I'm gonna tell you this, and I know I'm using these words that y'all like, here we go. Listen, y'all know this is not a political show. It's a real show, and we Shop Talk about everything. And Nick, what's his name? Listen, vote for who you vote for, but I got to tell you.
We don't want orange foolies.
So we're going to have to do what we got to do and put it up here. Now, I do want to know, like a lot of the other Shop Talkers, and I appreciate you guys emailing me and sending me messages wanting me to explain Project 2025. Listen. She said all them pages, Vice President Kamala Harris said all them pages that she had to read through. Listen, I like to read, but baby, I'm sleeping. There's a lot. So I said, let me hear somebody that know what's going on and can actually break it down where we can understand and tell us the importance of checking to make sure you're still able to vote. It is so important. So who would be best at doing this? I'm going to tell you who would be best at doing this. This lady was the labor and political consultant, senior advisor for Jennifer Brunner, Judge Carla Baldwin, John Cranley, I believe that is. Also the Ohio Coalition Director of Joe Biden, our current president. Some of y'all feel like since Kamala's running, he's no longer the president. That's not how that works. Wake up, people. Also the regional coordinator of Ohio Unity Coalition, statewide program director of Ohio Unity Coalition. And we're going to talk. Let's just give her a warm ShopTalk welcome. All right, Miss Jaladah Aslam.
Thank you. Good morning. You sound like you were reading some of my bio off of my Facebook page.
Yeah, listen, yes, and I want to talk about, because I didn't know, like, I know, were you like the president of the Black Caucus?
I am the president of the Black Caucus.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to get misinformation. I tried to be on it, and I was like, I couldn't find it. I tried to look for it too earlier. Yeah. So you are. Now, let me ask my questions real quick.
Okay.
When the Black Caucus, explain that, because when I hear Black Caucus, I'm like, oh wait, what's this, some type of group? What we doing here? And explain it to us, lovely people.
Okay. Well, first of all, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And Mel, thank you for the invitation to come on your show, and thank you for your patience this morning. My computer decided to reboot just as I needed it. I was like, you little whatever. But the Youngstown Warren Black Caucus is actually a chapter of the Ohio Legislative Black Caucus. We were founded in 2007, and I have been the president almost the entire time. So I'm trying to bring in younger people so I can pass the baton, so we can, I can go somewhere and sit on the island and chill out. But two, and what's more important, and I tell people all the time, if we're not grooming the next generation for leadership, then I have failed at my job, because I'm not doing this just to have some title. I'm doing this for our family, for the Black family, for our people. So yeah, I definitely want to see a 25, 30-year-old, walk in my footsteps and, do what you need to do for the next generation, because things are bad out here. They're serious. But YWBC, and that's what I always refer to the Black Caucus by our initials, is a political organization. And our main purpose is to mobilize, educate, and even groom people for office in the Youngstown Warren area. Okay. And we support Black and white candidates who we think are going to be good for our community, issues that are going to be good for our community, and we oppose candidates and issues that we think are not good for our community. It used to be, when we first founded, that it was because the OLBC is basically a Democratic operation. We actually revised our bylaws about 5 years ago so that we are able to not be held to that same standard. And look, I tell people all the time, they know I used to be an officer of the Democratic Party. Everybody's got their side of the aisle they work on, but nobody gets a pass just because they have a certain initial behind their name. If you're not right and true to Black folks, then you know what? You don't get our support. I don't care what party you belong to.
I'm glad you said that, because I was under the impression of the Black Caucus was all Democrat, and we in the room, this is my visual, me and my imagination. In a room, a few people sitting around like, okay, are we going to bag this person, that person? We take a vote. Hey, hi, how you doing? We don't like this person because of this, so we're not going to put them on the vote. Oh, this is my cousin. Let's put them on the vote. Can you go into a little more detail and explain that that's not true?
Yeah, that's not true. And listen, I'll be honest with you. We've gotten some heat for supporting candidates who were not endorsed by the local Democratic Party. on more than one occasion. People have gotten frustrated with us. I'm going to take folks back to 2017 when Judge Baldwin first ran, when Mayor Brown first ran, when Jermaine Kitchen was running for president of the council, and Sarah Brown Clark was up for re-election as the clerk of courts. Sarah was the only incumbent. The local Democratic Party had an endorsement process, and they did not endorse not one of those other qualified Black people, not one. Educated, qualified, etc. Now, they're all Democrats, white and Black, but they made an intentional decision, and I kind of had a blow up with the chair of the Democratic Party at the time. They made an intentional decision to try to lock our people out of citywide races in a city that is predominantly minority. How do you do that? And so I said to him after that meeting, at the meeting, I can show you better than I can tell you, because you're not going to continue to take Black folks and our votes for granted. Oh, no, don't be. I'm done. I'm done talking about it. And we went on, as everyone remembers, to sweep that primary. And, it was major news all over the state. I was getting phone calls the next morning from Columbus and Cincy and political operatives and people that I worked with before on statewide and national campaigns saying, I heard that y'all shook up the world in Youngstown. And I guess that's why I'm passionate about our people understanding the importance and the power of their vote, because they played us. They wrote us off. They said, the city elections are really determined in 3 wards, 4, 5, and 7. Okay. You know what 4, 5, and 7 are? Predominantly white wards. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, and 6 are the more diverse wards. Understand there's 7 wards in Youngstown. If 4 wards are predominantly diverse, African American and or Hispanic, and 3 are white, what does that tell you about the city? That we have the votes and the power.
It's primarily diverse. We'll use that word. I'm like,
right. So we have the votes and the power, okay, to really have a voice and a say-so all the time.
Okay, so let me be clear. So the people that are backed by the Democratic Party or endorsed by the Democratic Party is not the same people that is endorsed or I'll say that can be or cannot be endorsed by the Black Caucus, because I thought all were one.
No. and that's where we bump some heads. We've got a couple candidates in this cycle who are not Democrats. One, I think it's one in Trumbull and one in Mahoning. And so, but these are people who came to us, who asked for our support, who had good plans, good ideas, had relationships with our community. And quite frankly, where their Democratic opponents kind of either took us for granted or didn't have as good of a plan, because they just assumed that Black people, because we are, for the majority, Democrats, we're just going to automatically give them their endorsement. And they didn't do that. The other thing is people think it's who Jaladah likes. I'm the president, but I don't have a vote. So
okay, that's good to know. Okay.
People need to understand that. We have an actual process. We have a screening committee. And so we send out questionnaires to potential candidates of all parties and say, okay, if you want our endorsement, you need to fill this out. And then you need to, if you want an interview, we will screen you. We will interview you. Some people blew that off. So guess what? If you're not asking for our endorsement, we ain't giving it to you. You just don't.
Okay.
We're just not going, they're a Democrat, even though they didn't respond, we should go ahead and endorse them. What does that sound like? That's not intelligent. If you don't think enough of us to follow through the process and to at least seek our endorsement. Okay.
See, that's how I feel. Because when I sit there during election time, everybody want to come to the church. Sir, ma'am, I haven't seen you all year, and then you want to come to the church and say, hey, boom, and we say, we're going to vote for them. Why?
Right.
That I get that. So is it safe to say, and I don't want these are my words, is it safe to say that there is politics in politics?
Oh, there's always been politics in politics. Always. Always, always, always. But what I will say as someone who's been really involved inside the system for many years, and I'm kind of jaded because the more involved I get, the more I was like, oh man, this is really kind of like nasty, you know. There's a reason for that. And the power that comes behind holding an elected office is what really drives those folks. A lot of people come into politics with all the best intentions in the world. I want to make a difference. I mean, they mean that from the bottom of their heart. And after so long, some folks, not all of them, but a lot too many of them, get comfortable and like, well, this is, you know, my decision, or this is, you know, that's my ward, or that's my legislative district, or, you know, I make the decisions here, and you're not responsive to your constituents. And that's a problem. That really is a problem.
It's an I instead of a us. So when you're running, it's a us, and then once you get in there, it's an I.
It's a we thing, and then when they get in there, they're like, nah, no, I'm not calling them back today. It's nothing personal. It's nothing big. That's just Miss Jones. She don't want nothing. You know, I'll blow her off. Or that was Mel calling again. Or she probably want me to do something. Y'all just, you know, I'll send her a text. I'll call you back, whatever. And that's just not cool. It's just not. And, you know, I say this all the time. Voters are smarter than that.
Absolutely.
Voters are smarter than that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I see where when I'm out in the community talking to different people, I noticed that there was a time where it was a we. So we voted, I'm using air quotes for the listening audience, we voted what was good for the community, for the whole as a collective, where now it's I'm voting for what's best for me personally in my home.
Right.
What do you say to that? What's your thoughts on that?
I'll be honest with you. I think that most politics is personal. I think it's what works for you. What we haven't done yet is connected to the dots that a lot of things that work for me work for you too. Okay. I mean, some basic stuff, whether it's public education, whether it's healthcare, whether it's the cost of living, you know, a lot of things that, you know, I might be concerned about something, and I don't know that my neighbor 2 doors down is concerned about the same thing, or the people across the street are concerned about the same thing. Because look, you know, everybody just got their head dug down, and you just trying to make it work. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to take care of your family. You're trying to go to work. You're trying, you know, to take care of yourself if you get sick. People just want some basics and some dignity in life. Most people are not looking for drama. You know, they just want to be able to live well, to take care of their families. They want a good life and a good world for their kids. It sounds hokey, but it really is basic. It really is basic. Even people that have dreams of doing bigger and better things. There's a whole lot of people that want to start their own business, or if they have their own business, they want to expand. They want to see opportunities for, they want to have small business opportunities. They want that small business to grow into a bigger business. You know, they're looking at branding, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of people out there that have the same thoughts. So it probably is a we thing. We just don't know it because we don't work together. We don't work together as much as we used to.
Now, I've noticed that, and I don't want to bring this, listen, because I'm going to be short for time. The Kumo D in self-destruction, back in the day, I'm dating myself, lovely people. Self-destruction, that was like...
I was like, what you know about Kumo D?
And that self-destruction, that Stop the Violence anthem that we had, Mo D's line was fire. It was fire. Y'all go check that out. Just go on, clip on that. Matter of fact, I'm sure with the way AI is and everything's going, you can just hear his little clip. I'm going to get it before the end of the show. I'll do that favor for you, and we'll play it again so you can hear exactly what's going on. I want to put this out here. A lot of people don't know, like, I don't know you personally. Like, as far as like I seen you at meetings and and that's it. It's like, oh, I know who that is, the end.
Right.
So now to get to know you, I want the people to know this part. I know this part about you because I always do my leg work anyway. You look at people and you be like, oh, I like that person. I like the vibe. I'm a vibe person.
Okay.
Energy person. So it's like, okay, boom. I see what's happened. I see what the mission is. You didn't just come into this because weren't you the the union? Weren't you over the union or in the union at your job when you were actually working at your regular 9 to 5?
Yeah. So go back.
You were fighting for the people.
So I got a history.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So go backwards. And I actually used to share an office with a relative of yours, with Cynthia. So yeah, with your auntie. So I used to work in the 80s, I'm dating myself, Job and Family Services. When I started there, it was still the welfare department. Okay.
That's what we know. Talk to the people.
It was the welfare department. And for most of us, it's still called the welfare department. Lovingly, not out of disrespect. And so when I was there, I got really involved in the labor union because the union, the union that represents JFS is a public employees union. The acronym is AFSCME, American Federal State, County, and Municipal Employees, American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. I got really active, became shop steward, chief shop steward. And then in 1992, they offered me a position to come on staff. And so I left the county and went to work full time for the union in 1992. And I became a professional negotiator. A lot of people were, if you think about it in terms of, I was a business agent. And so for the next 23 years, I worked for the union, negotiating contracts, representing folks in grievances, representing folks in some workers' comp hearings, doing that kind of work, training union officers, putting on arbitration cases, did that work, like I said, for 23 years. And was always engaged and interested in politics, but part of our job was actually political activity because we represented a lot of public employees. And of course, if you represent public employees, who's elected matters because those are the people that we're sitting across the table negotiating for wages, hours, terms, and conditions of employment for our folks. And I just became more and more active. And then they gave me the responsibility of becoming what they call the lead staff in charge of political activity for Mahoning and Columbiana counties. And that really just opened a whole lot more doors, a lot more networking. It gave me a lot of relationships I probably would never have with like folks down in Salem and Lisbon and, all of a sudden, and I serviced down Steubenville and down in St. Clairsville.
You're like, where is that at?
Yeah, like the territory I had was, as a matter of fact, I was the first Black rep that the union had down there. So there were like no Black people in St. Clairsville. Seriously, I would remember going to the mall during Christmas time one time, and it was really packed and everybody was shopping. I saw a Black family. They saw me. We were like, ain't no Black ones around here. But anyway, I got to, a lot of networking, just opened my eyes to life outside the Valley because I've lived here most of my life. I've done a lot of traveling with the union. I've done some organizing work with what we were representing childcare providers, in-home childcare providers. So the union had me do a lot of traveling around the country, just learning about that. So I spent time in Minneapolis, I spent time in California, Florida, et cetera, Dearborn, Michigan.
So it's not just this community, just
right,
all communities.
Right. So it really gave me a look at, life outside of here, life outside of Ohio, and, how basically most people, working people, want the same thing for their families. They want to be treated with respect and some dignity. They're not looking for drama. They want to come to work. They want to take care of their families. They don't want They want to be able to get some health care and not get sick and go into bankruptcy, have
That
a vacation. They want their kids to go to good schools. They want to be able to afford to send their children to college if that's what they choose to do. It just, some really basic, simple
opportunities.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, everything that I've seen and done and learned has just reinforced my beliefs that, we just all want to be able to take care of our families and ourselves, and that's kind of considered personal agenda. But when I say it's a we thing, there's millions of people that have that in common, and we don't want to hurt anybody else. Most people don't think about, oh, I hate so-and-so because they're white, or I hate so-and-so, because they're they have a different religion than me, or blah, blah. Most people don't think like that. They don't waste their time and energy like that. At least not until recently.
I ought to bring Nick on. Nick be going and going and going.
Yeah, that whole thing, that active hate, like, we've all got our prejudices and dislikes, but I call it active hate when you like going out of your way to make this
deliberately.
Like,
what we gonna tell? So it's safe to say that you ain't new to this. You true to this.
Yeah, I'm really not new to this. I'm not.
And I wanted to let the listeners know, as well as the viewers know, when you see somebody, some people look at, okay, this is an opportunity for me to get in. I don't know anything, but I do appreciate the title. You know what I mean? So I was like, let's bring it back a little bit. Let's introduce the people to who we know, because you are the face.
Right.
You are the face. And it's like, hey, you want something done? That's who you go to. You have any questions? That's who you go to. That, at least that's for me. I was like, oh, you know what? Y'all want to talk politics? Let me give somebody that know politics, because I don't, and I know me, but I was like, I got the go-to person. So me running into you, I was trying to find you, but me actually running into you, I told Lavetta, I was like, hey, she had mentioned, I said, tell her I'm trying to find her. But I was trying to find you for a while.
Oh, okay.
I was.
It's not hard to find me now.
That's what you say. But
it's not hard to find me.
Because I'll like look and see like if we're in the same place, but I'm in and out too. Yeah. So it's like, boom, I'm doing, then I'm out.
I tell people all the time, my cell phone number should just be plastered on a billboard somewhere, because it's not hard to find me. It's not.
No, it was hard, but I got you. You was right in the same place. I was like, oh, let me go. I was glad she came and got me, because I would have probably missed you.
Okay. Yeah, she said, when I got there, she said, and Mel wants to see you. I said, okay.
Like, this is what we gotta talk about. Now, speaking of people caring about the health, going into bankruptcy, trying to buy medication, let's talk that Project 25, like the key points, because a lot of people don't understand it. And I read a little bit, I read the part that affects me. So I,
okay,
which happened to be the we, because that healthcare and, pretty much having to file bankruptcy. And a lot of people are on fixed incomes by the time they start having health issues.
Right.
And Nick's boy is trying to eliminate that. So can you tell the people the nuts and bolts of it?
So Project 2025, which, by the way, you can look it up. They have their own website. It's open. You're not hiding it. Project2025.org. But it is a plan put together by the Heritage Foundation. And you need to check out who the Heritage Foundation is.
That part.
Because their job is, they claim they're a conservative group. No, they're not. They're an old-timey group. They liked when people didn't have rights and people didn't have the ability to vote. They like to be able to control power, money, and the flow of government. So,
well, the words project I had an issue with.
Right.
And the word heritage I had an issue
with.
Because it's like, wait, what is, we know what that is. Hold on.
When they talk that, that doesn't include us. Okay, first of all, we know when you hear it does not include us. Not in a good way. So, but this Project 2025 is a blueprint for what they want, what the Heritage Foundation and a lot of other people who worked on it, which included over 100 people that used to work for former President Trump, how they see the government working in 2025 if, in fact, he were to get reelected. And I'm saying kind of he, but I think they want it for anybody who would be on that side of the aisle. Okay. So if for some reason something happened and he dropped dead and they had to go to another candidate, they would still want that candidate, whoever was the Republican candidate, they would still want them to advance it. I mean, one of the things that I think is a mistake that people do is, you know, a lot of folks, oh, Trump is this and that and this and that, and they can't stand him and all that stuff. And yeah, I don't like him and his policies, but it's not him. It is the agenda. It is what these folks want to put into place. And so a lot of things that you see in the project are long-term goals to try to turn back or erase things that are in place now that they feel is a hindrance, particularly to big business, billionaires, folks controlling the way that the country runs.
I.e. Roe versus Wade. I'm still mad about that. I'm going to be to the end. Like, you think things are put in stone and this is it. This is the way it's going to be forever. And then all of a sudden, guess what? We changed our mind. That's not going to, you know, that's why I tell people it's important to know who you vote for. And a lot of people go and vote for the presidential election and not the one that really affects them personally, your local, your judges, you know, those are important and people skip past that. The reason I'm bringing that part up is if there are those who skip past that and only want to vote for the presidential election, and then they get up there and they realize, wait a minute, I can't vote. Wait a minute. That can become a bigger issue. Absolutely. And somebody will get in that we don't want. Can you speak to that? And I'm going to let Nate ask his questions.
Okay. So one of the problems with that is, you know, and I'll use this as an example. I'm going to go back to 2008 when President Obama got elected and, you know, everybody was having a ball and cheering and yay. And we were so excited. And then 2010, nobody voted. And so the Congress flipped. So you voted for a person, but you didn't go vote for his team in 2010. So basically, he didn't have the ability to get anything passed because he didn't have the supporting cast to help him in Congress. And Al Sharpton told this it's kind of funny but sad. He said, we were still partying from getting a black president, and we were still in our tuxedos and gowns from the inauguration instead of going to vote. And everything got flipped. And all of a sudden, you know, the things that he wanted to continue to do, he couldn't do. Because we thought that all we needed to do was vote at the top of the ticket. The legislative body, whether it's at the state level, the national level, or the city level, is critical because they have the ability to pass laws. Legislation gets done by those bodies. So at the city level, it's the city council. At the state level, it's the state general assembly, the House of Rep, and the state Senate. And in the federal, it's Congress. We have got to quit acting like these aren't important seats. These seats are extremely important.
Glad you brought that up because there's a lot of people that said, well, that's your president, talking about President Barack Obama. What did he do for me? He didn't do anything for me. There she answered that question that second time. You forgot to vote. You like, okay, we in here. Come on, you have to vote for those people.
You really do. You really do. Yeah, they've got to have, you know, one of the things that, regardless of how people feel about the Affordable Care Plan Act, it did do a lot of great things. And one of the things it did, so did I. I was able to retire because of it. That getting rid of a pre-existing condition, insurance companies being able to deny people coverage because of pre-existing. People don't know how many folks that affected. You know, they could deny you because you had diabetes. It was how
many people have it?
You know, And in our community, in our family, there are way too many people that have that. So there was just a whole lot that came with that. Besides the fact that people didn't have any kind of coverage whatsoever, and that, over 20 million, I think now it's up to 30 million people were able to get some sort of healthcare coverage. So, and you got to look at, I just looked at that, Brother Daryl Jones, that you got to vote all the way to the ticket. You got to work from top to bottom. People always make the mistake about one of my peeves is judicial candidates. And as you see, I've worked on several judicial campaigns. I actually happen to love working for judges, because one, people don't understand how important it is, and two, they can't comment on a lot of social issues, so you can avoid some of the drama because of judicial canons. But they are so important. Like, who sits on the Ohio Supreme Court means everything. It's the reason why we got tied up in all that gerrymandering mess. And people don't think that it's important that I don't need to vote at the bottom of the ticket. I will share one other thing with you, and I'll let your guests go ahead and jump in. When the Youngstown Warren Black Caucus first got started, we found out that when we started doing our slate cards, and people see it and they know us for it, and we keep them the same color so folks know that golden ticket when they see it. But we started doing that not just to tell people how to vote, but to make sure that people voted the entire slate. When President Obama ran the first time in 2008, we got notice that over 600 people had gone in to vote for him in Cleveland and just voted for him and didn't vote for anybody else. That's not good. That is not good. I mean, there was like a whole lot on the ballot, and they were like, I'm going in to vote for Obama. And they literally went in and just voted for him and left. And I'm like, come on, y'all. We have to do better than that. So that's why we started doing the slate cards, that please vote the entire slate.
Okay. Good. You want to go with your question?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, hey, how are you today? I put on my studious glasses so I can look smart, but it's just a look. You pretty much answered my question, because I'm all for a good cheat sheet. And you guys with the gold cards would say, hey, we vetted these candidates and this is the way we need to go. And as a community, understanding that's communal, that's based out for our community, why can't we just vote the gold card?
Well, you can, and we hope you do.
well, I would like to amplify the gold card standard. Let's vote the gold card standard, because the homework's already been done. Yeah. Just like me in high school, you take somebody's paper and you copy off of it. I graduated. I got my diplomat. It worked.
It's a mess.
It
Don't
worked.
copy nobody's paper. I'm gonna constantly say that.
No, if the work is already done, and a lot of people don't believe in the whole voting process or have their things.
Right.
So if you can just do this for your community, you ain't gonna do it no way. Do me a favor, copy this on there. Take your license.
Right.
It would change everything.
Yeah. I say that's reality when you're voting, especially young people, first-time voters. They don't know who to vote for.
Right.
So it helps, and it's like, oh, okay, here we go. Because I told you, I made a confession. When I didn't know who to vote for, I was like, okay, who gave me the best gift? Remember I told y'all that? I was keeping it 100. I came in, I was fresh 18. Whenever I'm like, I don't know who to vote for. Oh, that was a nice finger file. Yeah, not a fingernail file. Like,
Lord.
I vote for him. That is the truth, because as an adult now, you be like, don't do that. But you don't know. So the gold card,
I like that,
helps.
Yeah. It really does. And we do that intentionally, and we keep it the same color every cycle for a reason, so people know that's the brand. And I've had people say, that's that black card, or is that what they call that? The Black Caucus. And they don't even know who we are. They just like, okay. And now I have people asking for it. They're like, okay, where's my sheet? Where's my go? I'm getting ready to go vote. Make
if
sure
you've done my homework for me, I'm down.
Yeah.
I need a gold
And they're
card.
like,
I need to go. Give me a couple of them. I'll pass them out.
And then you'll always see people saying, you don't need that. That's somebody who didn't make the card. I'm telling you right now, when you see pushback, it's somebody who did not get endorsed by us saying, well, don't go. Or they'll tell you, You can go down here, but this race, don't vote for that person because they're mad because they didn't get on it or their candidate didn't get on it.
Interesting.
And I need people to understand that.
The gold card standard. I like it. I like it a lot. So
you're like, look, that's gonna be you. That's his next move.
Yeah, gold card.
Like, okay, wait a minute.
I have something that I would probably want to talk to you offline. So is it all right if I get in touch with you through?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Watch out, y'all.
What you got?
Hold on, I might have to put on a tie now.
What you got, Nick? You have any questions?
I just would like you to address the fact that I get tired of arguing with people about the point of our vote don't matter. It's already, they already have who they want in office, or they already know who they're going to put in office. I hear that all the time, and I always argue like, apparently y'all didn't pay attention in social studies or in civics class. Oh yes, we did. And nah, baby, you did not pay attention. Can you please address that? People think that, you know, it don't matter what we vote because they already know who they gonna put in office anyway. Okay, they fought real hard against putting Obama in the office regardless, and our vote mattered.
Let's hear what she has to.
I just real quick. First of all, if it didn't matter, they wouldn't be trying so hard to stop us from voting. Period. Point blank. But I always share this as a personal story, and this is a true story. So before I was born, my uncle, his name is Ed Davis, was the first Black man elected to city council in the city of Akron. Okay. And Uncle Eddie was my father's brother. And he was elected in 1958 by one vote. He was the first Black person on city council. He was the first Black person in the 3rd ward. And they recounted the vote 3 times, and it kept coming out exactly the same. He'd won by one vote. And they asked his opponent after the 3rd time, well, do you want another recount? And he said, no, he just did a better job of getting out one more person to support him than I did. And my uncle went on to serve 18 years on council, 6 years as president of the council, you know, whatever. But the reality is I was raised on that story for one reason, that your vote matters. Mm-hmm. So if he had not, if he did not get just that one extra person out, he would not been the councilman in the 3rd ward of the city of Akron. So every vote that we've seen close elections, your vote matters. Your vote absolutely was close too. Yeah, the mayor's first one was close. When he lost to McNally in 13, that was close.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, people forget that. Yeah, it was really close then. So his margin between losing to McNally and winning over Sean McKinney was almost the same.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for that info.
Yeah, it's because it just shows that every vote does matter. But not voting, people say, well, my vote don't count. Now, so if you haven't been voting and your life hasn't improved, how's that working for you?
Exactly.
You know,
oh no, she used make stuff.
I'll allow it. Continue.
How's that working for you?
She's gonna do my homework, so I'll allow that one. Continue. I need the gold card because honestly, I was like, I don't really care for any of the two thing, but I know if I don't vote, it helps someone else.
Absolutely.
So if you give me the gold card, I'll hook it up. You know what I mean? I'll push the gold card standard.
We love it.
Yes. You have to do what's best for you. But now I got to address this issue because the me in Mel has to. When we're talking about the diabetes, I want to let the lovely listeners know that we as Black people make up 16.5%. I knew it was about 16%, but I had to look that up. And the reason, and watch it, it seems like a little bit for 100%, but we forgot we have our Native Americans, we have the Asian people, so you have to take that into consideration. However, Hispanics are rated the highest at 20% now with diabetes. So that is just what she was saying as far as like when she was breaking up the wards in, right in our area, in Youngstown, Ohio area. it matters. So that Affordable Healthcare Act, it works for me. And it's so many people that do have diabetes. But I just wanted to put that out there to give you guys the percentage of us who are really affected, where they're trying to get rid of it. And those are your pre-existing illness, because we have so many children that are born with type 1 diabetes. Before there was a time, and I'm going to be done, I promise you with this part. Before there was a time where just a few people had type 1 diabetes. Now you have adults who have, we say, oh, that's type 2 diabetes. But now adults are diagnosed with type 1, and they call it latent type 1 diabetes. And the reason that is because a lot of people don't know, viruses. Viruses can actually cause you to go into type 1 diabetes. It's amazing how it happens. And then we're looking at, what are we putting out here in the atmosphere? Oh, this is coming here. This disease was made in a lab. Listen, when those things occur, just as she's saying, they're trying to cut out. We're talking about, this is the Project 2025 that I was focused on. It's like, okay, so not to say this is me talking to me and Mel. So you put this out here for me to what, die? Can we keep it 100?
No.
Die or go into bankruptcy and then die because I can't buy food?
Right.
Those are things that we have to take into consideration. So your boy Nate said it. He said he going off the cheap. The gold card is where it's at. Nick asked the question. You say your vote don't count. Your vote does matter.
Yeah.
Now back to this question that I have gotten.
Okay.
A lot of us have endorsed Kamala.
Kamala.
Look.
Kamala.
Say it. Kamala.
Like the comma.
Chameleon.
Oh, Kamala. Okay. Kamala. Thank you. That helps. Kamala. Okay. And I know you met her, so we're going to go with you. Yours is one. Kamala.
And for those who don't know, she is, for real, a joyous person. She is like, hey, she is and relaxed. Now she's a bad sister now. She can, she's a prosecutor and all that stuff, and she didn't get where she was by not being tough and ambitious. But that persona that you see, that persona is real. I got to meet her a couple times before 2020, and then you said I worked on the campaign in 2020. I was the coalition's director for Ohio, and I got to staff her once when she came to Ohio. She came to Cleveland, and met with some clergy members. But she's always the same. She's just like, hey, how you doing? She is, somebody you would like. I could hang out with her for a little while, and
that's what you want. That's how I felt with President Obama. I was like, oh, I could kick it with him, because it came off the screen, like his energy came off the screen, just as hers. It comes off the screen. You can actually see it. But I'm glad you said Kamala. So, bam, now I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, what about the people who, I think she's endorsed by lots of people. What about those who feel like, I don't know if I want, if I'm ready for a female president?
Like me?
And,
I'm sorry.
Okay. Sorry. And I'm going to let you go there. And how are other countries who don't respect women, air quotes for the listening audience, going to respect us? And that was a question from one of the listeners.
Okay, well, first of all, when you it pains me that we're still having this conversation about whether or not we should have a female president. Like,
really?
I can't believe we're still having this conversation. And I can't believe it in a global perspective, because so many other countries and nations have had female heads of states. Mm-hmm. And America, as much as we claim to be this, progressive leader in the world, we way behind on this part, way behind. Get over it. That's all I can say. There are too many talented people, female and male, who could do this job. Quite frankly, probably a lot of who wouldn't ever want the job could do it. But why are we still having this conversation? Really, why are we still having this conversation?
Go, Nate the agitator. Say it.
No, I'm one of those people, and that's why I was not going to vote. But your gold card has me. I would rather help the collective than to have my own personal feelings about it.
Yeah.
But
and you know, and I say this too, and I guess maybe, I don't know if you're scared or you think we won't get the same kind of respect or something, but it's the opposite. Most of the free world thinks we're behind.
We are when they reverse that Roe versus Wade. Let me get back off of that.
Now you know.
I'm with you on that. I am with you on that. You know, not just because of that. We said this last year. I worked on that campaign too, but you know, we said this last year. It's not just about abortions. I promise you, it's not.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It's about freedom. It's about, and the whole purpose of abortions becoming legal was about protecting women's health. Because listen, a whole lot of folks were having backroom abortions and getting messed up. They were getting, somebody has somebody in their family that had one, I promise you, even if you don't know it. And they were getting messed up. And they were getting, you know, I mean, physically being harmed. Some died from them. You know, people using coat hangers and all that crazy kind of stuff. This was about protecting women's health. And the sad part is the folks who seem so intent on trying to force someone to carry a pregnancy through the term are the same people that wouldn't give that baby an apple when they showed up here. They're the same people that won't help that woman with child care. They're the same people that don't want those children to go to a good school and to have a free public education, which, by the way, Project 2025 wants to get rid of the Federal Department of Education and get rid of paying for public education. We better pay attention.
Big time. Big time. I'm like, come on, wake up. Now I have my thoughts, and y'all know I'm about to go there. So my thoughts, I said, oh, okay, so if they choose they don't want an abortion, they want to have more children, are you really afraid that you have a dying population? What's the real reason here? Are you afraid of being the minority?
Oh, you're going to open that door. You're going to get me on my soapbox.
That's where I'm at, because remember there was a time if you had 1% black in you, you were considered black. But now on any application, they got their own box, and it's called biracial. Before it was black, white, other. Then they added black, African American. They add that too. African American, white, biracial. No, Native American came first. Then now black, white, biracial.
Right.
So why did we separate this when this was a thing? We are afraid. Hold on, what's happening?
Well, you know, it's funny that you say that because it took them forever to even put that on there.
Yes.
And even though they have those boxes, those individuals who are checking biracial are still being counted as black.
Okay, thank you.
Let's not get it twisted. They want to act like it's all well and good, but if they have to make a decision of where do we put these biracial people when we count up the total population by demographics, they're going in the black column. They're not going in the white column.
That's good to know, because I'm sitting there like, oh, okay, we're going to do this separate so that you're just going to have black people at whatever percentage and then white so that you are not the minority. So it still makes them the minority then.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is that this whole thing about stopping abortions, because quite frankly, let's be honest, more white women have abortions than black women.
We know that.
Okay.
Look, back to my...
Right. And yes, they want to stop. You hear JD Vance run around talking about women should have more kids and women that don't have kids are crazy cat ladies and all that other nonsense. They want more white women to have children so they can be the bigger portion of the population. They know what's coming. They see it already. And, you know, they're not that far from it. Well, we're only 20 years from it. And so they want to make sure that there are more of them. Right. And what's sad is that people still see that instead of the mixing of races, or people just doing whatever they need to do, regardless of who you fall in love with. If you fall in love with a black person and you're a white person, or Asian, that's your business. But they want to, it's almost like trying to preserve this. It almost reminds me of the old Aryan Brotherhood kind of
Hitler.
Like, we
Hitler.
want this pure white, this pure white race, which there is no such thing anyways.
No. They understand that the black woman is the only thing that can reproduce itself. Black men and black women can reproduce itself. I can have a black child. As a white man, you don't have a just white child. It's always Lowry's or some type of seasoning and
Lowry's.
Maybe Goya.
With this.
Maybe orange chicken. Who knows? But it's always a mix. But a black person can create itself.
Let me go to this comment. I can't believe the weirdo black men who question a female president grow up. We always go against our own interests. Negroes are a trip.
No, I disagree with her totally. And we have a guest. We have a guest, so I can, I don't want to
act right because we got a guest.
You see my glasses on. My studiousness glasses are on. But I disagree.
This is how I feel about that.
Right.
Men are afraid to vote that black woman in office because they're afraid she's going to run the country, or any woman going to run the country much better than they have.
Excuse me, let me handle her. Excuse me.
No.
We doing the house.
Look, wait, okay, we'll get into it. But we want to thank our guests.
Well, we're going to talk about the Project 2025.
I'm about to let you get the floor. So, because there they go to distractions. Look, they got me. Look at them going back and forth. Men, women. Here we go.
So,
let's talk Project
2025. Because I think it's important that people understand what this document is. I mean, we talked about where it came from and what it is. It's a blueprint. But there are some specifics in it that affect all of us. And for those people who follow me on Facebook, I am posting one fact about Project 2025 every day. Okay. And there's some really basic stuff. Like, one of the things it wants to do is get rid of Head Start. Okay. It wants to eliminate Head Start, and it wants to severely reduce the school lunch program. Okay. So paid school lunches and breakfast, they want to reduce. And it wants to eliminate altogether Head Start. Okay. They just think it's a waste of time. It wants to get rid. Project 2025 proposes eliminating the Public Department of Education, the federal department. They claim they want it to go back to the states. But if you're not giving federal dollars towards that, what's going to happen? They think that private schools should be what we have in America, not public education. Well, private schools can pick and choose who they accept, because that's not going to work. And as the governor of Minnesota, who's on the ticket with the vice president, Governor Walz, says, he said, what happens to those small communities? So it's not just going to hit big urban communities. Those rural white communities, ain't nobody setting up a private school for a township of 400. I mean, come on now. That's not going to happen.
Back to the schoolhouse or in their living room or something like that.
Project 2025 would eliminate civil service protection for all federal employees. That's what I said. So though they want to make all those people government political appointees, so they'd have to be loyal to the president and the executive branch instead of having a protected civil service job. It also would eliminate the overtime system that exists in America right now. Right now, you get paid overtime for working more than 40 hours a week, and in some cases, more than 8 hours in a day, 8 hours in a day and 40 hours in a week. They want to eliminate it so that employers can then pick and choose the payroll system. So now they can say, well, your pay period extends over a 3-week period. And instead of 40 hours a week, if we work you more than, let's say, 170 hours over 3 weeks, then we don't have to pay you overtime, even if in the first week you work 60 hours. We don't have to pay you time and a half. We better pay attention to what's going on. They have every intention of breaking down not just the middle class, but there's going to be the haves and the have-nots, period. And that's just some of the things that we need to pay attention to. They're also talking about taking a lot of money out of what they call the food supplemental programs. For those who don't know, food supplemental programs can mean food stamps, can mean
we about to starve to death. They're trying to take you back to doggone slavery. People don't understand.
They don't think that they should be spending money to take care of people. They don't think that we should, this richest nation in the world should be doing anything for
us, people, for the people
who are right.
It's just interesting because it's going back to slavery. I mean, look at that. Okay, you working. You want to sit here and have me work all these hours and days and tell me I can't take a break and kill myself for who? And back in the slavery days, I looked at it this way. That's almost a "we'll work for food" sign that you see the guy out there. It's like, okay, so you're just working to eat. And if you take away the food supplemental program, no stamp. So now I got to work all these millions of hours and you just telling me when I can get off and how much I'm going to make, how much I'm worth. That's an issue. That's taking you right back to the we'll work for food.
Right.
I was like, if this ain't slavery in motion, I don't know what it is. And even like with the schools. So you sit there, it's like, oh, wait, we're cutting out public education. Do you know how hard we fought for that?
Right.
People, we got to wake up. I'm like, listen here. Tell the truth. I always say, I was like, truth, shut up, because they ain't listening. But we have to listen and open up our ears.
Yeah. This thing is more serious than anything I've ever seen in my life, than anything I've seen politically, than anything I've seen historically. It is like a total reversal of everything that's happened in the last 150 years. I didn't say 50 years. I said 150 years. It reminds you of things that happened before. You got a guy right now running for governor of North Carolina, a black man, talking about he wants to go back to when women didn't have the right to vote. Now, women got the right to vote in 1920. Okay, what made him think that black man in North Carolina had the right to vote in 1920? He didn't.
That's the problem.
Come on. What is your problem? What do you see when you look in the mirror? I don't know what he's tripping on, but there are some really strange forces. And I don't know if people do this just to seem or sound like they're more conservative. It's like there's some sort of contest going on and we don't know about. It's a status thing. I want to be the crazy person this week. No, I want to be the crazy person this week. But in the meantime, you got people who really feel like that and believe that. And then they're trying to groom some other, young kids into thinking like that. Yeah, right. The good old boy. And the good old boy system may never work for us. Never, never, never has it worked for us. So let's be clear. We're not just voting for a person. So if you got an issue with voting for a woman, but you'd rather vote for a man who is going to take away public education from your children and your grandchildren. If you are okay with somebody, by the way, this plan wants to abolish abortion, period, nationally, across the country, no matter what the states have already decided on. It wants to get rid of any mention of DEI, no diversity, equity, and inclusion, no affirmative action. And they want to be able to punish people and fire people who are using it or teaching it or training in it. So that's right. That's right, Daryl. We wrestle against I work with a lot of folks and wear a lot of hats. Mm-hmm. And one of the groups that I do a lot of work with and people don't know as much is a national clergy group, and it's called Faiths United to Save Democracy. So it's a group of a lot of faith leaders that have come together for the purpose of voter protection and voter mobilization. And one of the leaders of that group is Reverend Jim Wallace. He is the founder of Sojourners. And Reverend Wallace always says, you know, everything that these folks are doing and claim to do and claim that they're believers is wrong. He said, we believe in the Imago Dei, that man was created in the image of God. Mm-hmm. And that means that everybody, all of us, have the right to certain things, and the right to vote, and the right to have protections, and the right not to be bothered, you know, regardless of how you feel about all these other issues. Okay, everyone should be respected as a child of God, and that means that we all should be wedded. We should be ready, and we should be respected enough that we could vote our conscience, that we can vote without, you know, provocation and without it being intimidated or manipulated against. And this is just not what they're doing right now. But another one of those leaders said, look, this isn't just about voting and Democrat or Republican. This is about democracy. And she believes, her name is Dr. Barbara Williams Skinner. She's a good friend and like one of my spiritual mothers. This is demonic. When you go that evil, when you start planning out how to, you know, hurt people, how to put people in poverty, how to not take care of children and families. You know, you claim you have family values, but you want to put women at risk in an emergency room or in an emergency situation who may be in pregnancy because you don't think that they should be able to have an abortion, even if it means to save their life. That's demonic. That's evil.
And a lot of people are looking at, oh, okay, because I get the messages too. They're like, Mel, you focused on Roe versus Wade. Why? Because of abortion. I said, it's bigger than that. It is so much bigger than that. I.e. what you were saying about the guy that's sitting there talking about women shouldn't vote. It starts here. You're starting with this whole abortion thing.
Right.
And yes, some abortions are given to keep people alive. Real talk. And if something happened, were you raped? Can you look at this child? And when I say that, that's where I'm dealing with the mental health issue. If you were raped and you have a child, can you look at this child? Is this child going to be a productive citizen in society because you have hate in your heart of how this child was conceived? Those are things you got to take into consideration. But it's not just the abortion part of it. It's like if you take this, or if they can reverse something that was, what else are they going to reverse? All of our rights are going to be taken back. And it's like, wait.
IVF. They want to, I mean, yes. They claim they want to have people to have children, but for people who desperately want to have children
and can't, they're not going to pay for it.
You understand that people if they're using IVF, that means they've exhausted everything else. They've gone through all these other fraternal oh my God, I keep saying that's wrong. Fertility issues, and you've been through all kind of testing and prodding and taking medication. They want to have a child so bad. Couples that want to have a child so bad, and they can't. And now you're saying, we don't even know if you should be doing that.
I got to get you on. We're going to have to do a show, an exclusive. We can get it all in. I can't wait for the debate, September the 10th, the prosecutor versus the felon. What? That's going to be everything. I cannot wait. And then you see he's upset. I seen where he put, that's not fair. He dropped out. Okay, so you had all the ammo for President Biden, but now you're like, oh, wait, this might be something. So he's afraid. Let's keep it 100. He know that woman got it going on. RVP has it going on, and he is afraid. How can anybody get in contact with you if they want to ask more questions besides us getting together? Because we got to do an exclusive.
Absolutely.
To break it down.
So I say all the time, my email and my cell phone is public. So 330-727-5758. Text me first because I may not answer if I don't know that phone number. During this time of year, I normally do because it's election season and I never know who's calling. So I'm like, okay, I've done that before and not answer and then listen to my voice and go, oh shoot, that was someone. But yes, 330-727-5758. You can follow me on Facebook, Jaladah Aslam. I'm on X, Twitter at Jaladah A. I'm on Instagram, Black Caucus 51 on Instagram. Okay, so
that's where you can find her. Or guys, you can contact me. You guys know the number here. You could contact me and I'll get that information to her because she gave.
I would love to come back again. This has been fun, and you had a lot of people asking about the Electoral College. So just make sure we need to have a conversation about that too.
We're gonna go into it, and it's gonna be soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so you let me know your schedule. We'll get it going, and we'll do it in the evening.
Absolutely.
We kind of like more, more relaxed, and a lot of people can come on and say,
even though you're still a fan. I'm a Cowboy fan.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're coming. They're coming to Pittsburgh this year.
Oh, we gotta go. Be on the other side of the stadium, but we'll be there.
That's all right.
Okay, we have a lot of people that are thank you. Yes, listen, stay tuned. Check out the page. You guys know her Facebook page. You guys know mine. If you don't, it's Shop Talk with Mel on all socials. I'll give you her information. If you need it, which I'm sure you guys will, I'll let you know in advance. We'll let you know. We'll do a little commercial, let you know when she's coming on. Then that way you guys can get ready, write your questions down so we can go ahead and have a good time.
Well, we got to talk about it because I saw a few people ask about the Electoral College. And I don't want folks to think that we're just not.
No, we're not. We're going to get into it. We're going to go all into it.
Absolutely.
All into it. And it's going to be soon. So you let me know your schedule. We can make it happen like.
Absolutely. And I'll send you a notice. We are doing one of the organizations that I'm leadership in. We're doing a virtual forum on next Monday, August 26th. And it's going to be on, we do what we call legislative updates every 3 months, letting people know about some of the crazy stuff and some of the good stuff that's been proposed in the Ohio legislature, because a whole lot of things that affect us come out of that Ohio legislature. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to do a whole thing on Project 2025. So I'll send you the information. If people want to get on, it's virtual. Anybody, I'm going to expand the room. Anybody wants to get on there, they can. We're going to live stream it on Facebook at the same time so people can watch. But if you want to ask questions, you need to be in the Zoom room because we do not monitor questions on Facebook. We do monitor questions in the chat, and we want folks to feel comfortable asking questions. Okay.
I was going to say that too. And if you want, when we do our, our exclusive, you guys can come in. If you want to be invited, just shoot. You guys have the number 619-902-2287. Shoot me a text with your email, and we could just make it a Zoom. Come on in the room. You got the question you want to talk, and you're not afraid to get on Shop Talk. Come on and do the doggone thing. Thank you so much, Jaladah. We are getting ready to get into our topic. Who's value more, men or women? Thank you so much. It's about to get good. Look, clearly we talked about the VP running for president. We're gonna see. Let's talk. Okay, so
y'all don't know Kamala like I know Kamala.
Okay. Y'all, you heard her. We don't know her.
Mel, you just let anybody in here. You got a Cowboy fan in here? Put it.
That's right. That's right. So next time I'll have my stars on when I
whatever.
Okay, we gotta break out our Steelers gear then.
I'll be next time.
1, 2, 3. All right, Jaladah, thanks so much.
Thank you so much. All right, love y'all. Be safe out there.
Yeah, got that Cleveland Cowboy. Now I forgot everything she said because she done ruined it with that.
Come home for that game.
She done ruined it with all of that.
Love it. We're going to get into it. Now, who's valued more, men or women? We heard with some of the people that were watching talking about the women and how they are. I was watching a little clip where there was a man and he decided there was a man that was dating this girl, or I guess trying to know her. It probably was some type of reality show. But he said that she had a child. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, what's your problem with having a child? He chose not to date her. Why was she so upset that he made a decision to not date her?
Because her feelings were hurt. And he had a preference. Men aren't allowed to have preference. That goes into your thing. Women are valued more. We do everything for you. We do it, but it's for you. We cater to women in every aspect. In every aspect. we put people in positions just because they feel they should be there. Listen,
Do we really?
we've made a female football team. There's a female football league. Yep. And they get mad because the WNBA is mad that they don't make as much as the NBA. The WNBA is subsidized by the NBA. So the NBA pays that league to be there, and they're failing. So we men have to subsidize you guys because you are valuable. Whatever you want, happy wife, happy life. And things, listen, it's funny the question that has to be even talked about.
Okay.
They don't care about me. You know, men not cared about. What did Chris say? We are conditionally loved. We only love what we can do, conditions, not y'all. Everything is made around y'all.
What you think, Nick?
No.
You wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't. You're the beneficiary of it. No, I should be able to do that too. Nick, when somebody comes down and breaks in our house tonight or whenever, I'm going to say, hey, you know what? You should go this time because we're equal and the value is the same and blah, blah, blah. So you go downstairs and what that bump in the night is. What is that? I don't know.
I'll go down there and take Betty Lou with me.
Yeah, okay. And I can lay in the bed?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You and Betty Lou. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's interesting. Here, let's give some history real quick. There was a time where women couldn't get a bank account.
Mm-hmm.
A man, he could get a bank account. There was a time where women couldn't get, well, you couldn't get a bank account, you couldn't get a loan, you couldn't get a mortgage. Those are things that we couldn't get. And I believe that is why a lot of our elderly people or great grandparents and grandparents stayed in the marriage and let him have a relationship and a whole family on the other side of town because she wasn't leaving her man because we weren't able to have those things. Now we have those things and are able to have those things that it's like, I'm not putting up with your stuff. And I see that men feel like that they are valued more, which is really interesting because it's almost like a role reversal where their credit is shot. They didn't want to ever check cash and can't get a bank account or then overdrafted everything. And their credit's so shot they can't get a house now.
Here's two things on that.
So that's why we out.
Right. I don't agree with that. If the women should have account, I don't agree with that. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say that first. But look at the outcome. Families did stay together. Families were doing a lot more better then than they are now.
They were putting up with a lot.
I ain't putting up with that.
Okay, so got you. And what they were putting up for was better for the greater good. You had families that stayed together. You had structure. Now we don't have structure, and 40 and 50-year-old women can't find a man because we all baby raised and stuff like that. That is a direct correlation. Now, I do say I am not in agreement, so you can't have a bank account and this, that, and other. But the effects of her having to stay and putting up with whatever and doing those things that she did helped the community and men and everything in general. Because you leaving going by yourself now, how's that working? How's that helping us? How's that working for us as a community?
Well, let me tell you something.
Yes.
So I guess you're helping the community by repopulating it or on the other side of town?
No.
See, no.
That don't apply to all. I only have one baby mama.
So she stays and you do whatever you want to do. And a lot of women were getting beat back in those days too. So we're not talking about we're not talking about the DV, not the VD, the DV that's happening. But we gotta go where it was at. And I started with what we weren't able to have. Gotcha. And yes, families stayed together.
Gotcha.
Do I think that the children were stronger? Yes, endured a lot. I can agree with that. Where now it is not a lot of children are strong. A lot of mothers are single, left their husbands because of the situations and are having these children. But a lot of guys need to understand that you don't have to be in the house to raise your son. And a lot of men tend to divorce the family when you get a divorce or you divorce them.
Sure
So
did.
they are out. So
Gotcha.
you say, what I am hearing
Mhm.
is you should stay and put up with whatever
No. That's not what I'm saying.
to keep the community good.
No, I am just showing you the cause and effect. Now, you moved it. Well, most guys can do this and guys can do that. Guys are wrong. That dude was wrong for having a family on the other side of town. He was wrong. But the men that he created or the children he created are stronger. And the kids that we're creating are weaker. So when our weak children get up to their age, what are they going to put down? What are they going to, what fruit are they going to bear? So guess what? It may have not been perfect because guess what? It wasn't perfect for that black dude that was doing it. Who knows? Who knows? I am not endorsing what he did, but the downflow, the thing that came out of that were stronger men. We had a stronger community. Even though I got kids with y'all too on different sides of town and y'all didn't like each other, the kids knew who their father was or whatever the case may be.
Brothers and sisters.
Okay, well, and their brother and sister.
They accepted it.
Right. And the community, and guess what? None of them kids would have, if any of our kids got a whooping across town, what would you have done? Thank you, Miss Jones. I'm gonna tear his ass up when he get back, and we handled it as a community. So no matter how y'all felt, the community was better. Now we have all these feelings in place, and I ain't putting up with this and this, that, and other. Now you got a kid just cussing out his grandmother, just robbing, breaking in houses. The soil has been ruined.
Ninjas was robbing back in the day. But the only difference, was everybody said exactly who it was. Like here come this thieving ninja.
Okay.
But everybody knew. You can't act like you can't act like everything.
Answer me this question. Answer me one question. Was it the communities better or worse back then?
I wasn't back then, so I don't know.
Oh my God! Get her, fellas. Get her, fellas. Get her.
I don't know. But I tell you one thing. What I can say is that families were strong back then, even with the family on the other side of town, because guess what? Those children came and they knew who their sisters and brothers were.
You just agree.
It sounds like to me, and I'm only speaking from watching, my aunts and, people their age group.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that now a lot of those men and women have mental issues that are coming. So was it really that strong, or was it just a put up and shut up?
No.
That's the difference. Where now, you can't cut me off here, where now people are saying exactly how they feel and aren't putting up with things. I remember, and this is personal, I remember Grandma Ross telling me, she was like, "You gonna get a divorce?" I said, "Yes." And she said, this was Grandma Ross, rest her soul. And she said, we had to stay because I wasn't working. And she shared her stuff. And she's like, we weren't working. Women weren't working like that. He was the breadwinner. So you stayed in situations that you did not want to be in. And I will say, back in those days, I can share not from my personal experience, but, people's, their conversation, it was a lot of drinking. So it wasn't, I can't say it was a whole lot of cheating, what we have now. It was a lot of drinking, and they would come home and a lot of those men were violent and women stayed. Now we haven't. I remember saying, sitting right there in that living room, I was like, well, guess what? I don't have to. I don't have that same story. So I ain't got to stay. I'm out of here. I said that.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me and she said, good for you. That's what she said to me. So we can't say that it was always good, even though you sitting there looking at it. Well, you weren't the one, and I hate to use the word, it was done to, or the victims of the situation. Because if you listen to people now, and they say, a lot of the older ones, they say, oh, I wish I was able to do what you did.
Mm-hmm.
And they are happy about that. I remember somebody saying to me, an older person, love her to pieces, she said the same thing. She was like, I wish I could have did what you did, because she wasted a whole lot of years staying in something that she knew what wasn't. And it's like, or your husband telling you he don't love you and you just stay there because you have these children and this is what we need to do. And then the children is all messed up now because of what they witnessed. So, it's a personal thing inside each and every household. They're very different.
Mel.
But I still got to say, I'm not saying
Mel,
so.
I'm telling you that through those trials and tribulations, they were stronger. I'm not saying that trials and tribulations was easy or anything like that, but we benefited from that.
Now, I'm with Cornell. Yes, they were, the village was raising kids. That's where the issue is at.
But the village was
The village was raising kids. Now, in my neighborhood, I was that person. But you have now where they like, don't talk to my child. Don't touch my child. Don't touch my child. Probably because the village raised them before, and these people are upset, and that's bam. It's just a trickle down effect.
Do you think that has a direct correlation with the initial question?
Absolutely.
My child. My God, that's exactly what I was saying. I didn't condone not being a thing, but the community won because of it. The community grew and was stronger because of it, because she stayed and she didn't have to. Now that's what I started off. I said I don't condone it, but the community.
We got that part, but stay focused. Stay focused.
The community
is saying the same thing that I'm saying. Those people that were affected and getting the community being strong and being raised by the village had some effects where they felt like, when I have children, the neighbor ain't gonna be able to say nothing to my child. That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, it's real. But let's focus on what the topic.
The auntie.
You said that the women are valued more because you cater to our needs. I saw in the comment where it was like you both have to cater, or let me see, what was it? I lost it over there because it's going, okay, cater to them and all that, but we ego trip. Okay. Are the ones that are very, very single. A lot of people don't understand that if we had a choice to be stressed or to be single, we choose. Thank you. We choose our mind.
Yeah.
We're like, I'd rather be stress-free. I'll be single if this is it.
And so do guys. But guess what? If we make a choice or have preference, we're like that. The girl that was mad because he didn't want to date a single woman. He called himself high value, and the whole panel jumped on him because he had a preference. So when we have that same preference as y'all choose single. Okay, we choose single too. Oh no, what? I think that's absurd because you were raised by a single mama, and all of them were talking about how they felt, and he was like, "Hey,
he was so right. He was so right in that." So let me set this up. The young man had a preference, and they were in their feelings. And they felt this is it. They felt rejected because of something that they could not help at that moment. And then the young lady says, the one who had the child, she was like, it's funny that you won't date a single mother, but your mother was single raising you. That sounded absurd for her to even say that, because no, he's not going to date his mother. And she was like, well, she struggled. He said, we struggled. Mm-hmm. So if he sees how hard it's going to be, what is wrong with him making a decision? And this was the key point that he brought up. Every time he tried to give an example of what it was, he was like, okay, if somebody is big on here, boom, boom, you choose your preference. She's like, that don't have anything to do with it. It has everything to do with it. It's his preference. Mm-hmm. It is his choice of what he wants to do. But he brought it and broke it down. He said, okay, you're a single mother, so the child comes first. So I am signing up to come second. Because she verified, she was like, yes, child come first. He's like, okay, so you are supposed to come first to me, but I have to come second. Should I sign up for it? I commended him on that.
No. I love him. I want to cash up him a couple dollars, even though he was making the money. Hey, I love him, but guess what? The whole panel jumped on him because of his preference and what he feels his value is.
Women with children. I say that's women with children.
Well,
that jumped on him. That was upset.
But the thing is, his value was way less than hers. She's a woman with children, and you shouldn't feel that way. So therefore, I'm going to be mad at you for feeling the way you feel and having preferences. We can't do that as men to y'all. What? You only date me because I only got 4 inches? Why are you being so subjective? You should love me for me and this, that, and you shouldn't feel that way. I'm only 5'4". You shouldn't be prejudiced. I'm tall enough. When I bend you in half, I'm taller than you. So what's your problem? We can't say stuff like that. So
and
we're
I
not
think you
valued.
should be able to. I think you should be able to.
In
And
a
then the one
perfect
girl,
world,
she
you're right.
attacks him. She attacks him regarding what's a high value man. He actually already stated it. She was trying everything to make a point to why she was feeling rejected. No
And
one
all of
likes
the girls on
being
the panel
rejected.
agreed with her. And all of the panel, all the guys, all the girls on the panel backed her up. And he
And
was
that was nuts.
But
was
that
nuts.
shows
He
you
talked
what
about
his
his
value
character.
is.
He talked about his character. He talked about all of that. But if I have to choose,
he's right.
who I want to date,
He was
why are
right.
you mad?
He was right. But that shows you whose value is more. We value what she feels other than this man's choice or his reality.
See, I didn't. I really didn't. I was like, nope.
Right. But we both seen the same show. And he got jumped for having his own preference. And that's
I'm glad he stood on what he stood on.
I am too. But that's exactly what happens to us as men when we try to say something. That's why I'm so washed or whatever, because I say stuff and I stand on it. But a lot of people won't say, ooh. I'm pretty sure I have a lot of clutch the pearls moments. Ooh, he said that. Oh, clutch the pearls.
I
already know. And there's a lot of people to be like, I can't believe he said that. I'm glad you do. And I'm glad you
but guess what?
Same as with Nick. I'm glad. Speak your truth. Be exactly who you are. There ain't no sense in wavering. That's why everybody is different. But the girl, I want to get back to what the girl said. The girl was like, well, you being high quality, that depends on, what did she say? Your character and blah, blah, blah. But he actually said what he valued.
Yeah.
He talked about his values and being a better person in the community. Yes. Do I consider him a high value man?
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. But she felt like, oh, wait, I'm not considered high value.
I look good. I look like this. I this, that, and other. Blah,
it's
blah,
not
blah.
always about looks.
Her response, I'm gonna be honest. Her response, she ain't look that great no more. After her response. No. So you want to make somebody like you after you tell them, let's just look at this. After you tell somebody, listen, I appreciate you coming in my life. You're not going to be first. You're going to always be second. But if you want to date me, you can. And then when he say, oh, no, thank you. You're mad?
Yeah. Well, and then all the girls was mad too. I can't believe him.
That's why they have to be single. They got to be single mothers and they're upset.
But guess what? Their value was placed higher than his because he had something he stood on. And they couldn't have that. Oh, look at this uppity nigger.
And here's the thing. And he did what he needed to do to make sure he didn't have any children. And they were mad. But if y'all have children, it'd be like, oh, he got kids, he got this and that. I don't want.
He got baby mama drama.
Right. So we ready to knock him down, but you couldn't knock this man down because he made a decision that was best for him. How does that work?
Because whose value
he know his worth.
Yeah, he knew his worth, and women wasn't having that. I don't care if I got a kid by another man and that man is a bum. I'm still gonna take care of his kid. And you should sign up to take care of me and my child. How dare you say you don't date me? And the girls was like, well, what do you mean you don't date single moms and you was raised by? They jumped my dude. I wanted to call in. If she was alone, it was a while ago, but I wanted to call in immediately. I was looking for the number. What? Nigga, so pow, bruh. Keep it up, so pow.
It's the truth. And watch this. We tend to project what we think your high value is or what it should be. That's where the issue is at. And a lot of people, let me tell you about high value real quick, just on both parts, men and women. When you have to know your own value and your own worth. You do. And to be considered high value for you should be you setting your own goals and achieving those goals, which is knowing your value and your purpose.
That's purpose. I don't think it's value. Value is I'm not valuable to you, but Nikki thinks I'm the baddest thing on the planet. So my value is external.
No. Your value is just that, your value. And that's why that young man, he knows his value. So he knew, I'm not dealing with that because this is where I'm trying to be. My value is not based off of what y'all think of me.
Your value is to other people. So I mean, to you, I'm whatever. You don't like me. I have no value,
and I don't care.
Right, but Nikki feels that I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, and my value to her may be different.
What is your value to you?
To me, doesn't matter. I'm living my life. I have to achieve my goals, but that don't make me valuable.
I get that you have to achieve your goal, but your value is based on you, not other people. If that was the case, we would be thrown away.
Mel.
I'm clutching my pearls that you are basing your value, letting other people tell you what your value is.
I can't be valuable to myself. I can't be valuable to myself. I just have to achieve my goals. I just have to live my life. My value comes in what I can offer. That's make it valuable. I want to get this. This thing is valuable to me. And my Chevette is valuable to me, but you think it's a beat up old car. But that's the one I want, and it's valuable to me.
Watch this. If that's going to be the case, you had one of the coldest Chevettes out.
I think so too.
Would you agree?
I think so too.
Your value. I looked, boom, the confidence that you exuded in your Chevette, that was everything. You knew it. So guess what? I didn't look. I was like, oh, he got them all rimmed up. He got the music. It looks nice. But that was your baby. You washed that baby. Now, my Chevette was gray. It was like a gray cloud of depression. I never washed it a day in my life. I ain't even lying. I never washed my 1988 Chevette.
You had an 88?
I had an 88. That's
81.
Yeah, it was an 88. Huh?
Mine was an 81.
Oh, look. Okay.
But the rims was clean. No.
But guess what? Didn't wash that mug. Let me see. Yeah. It wasn't an 88. It was 86. I think it was 86. But it was cool. It was a great Chevette, but I never washed it. I never got brakes. I never got anything done to it. But your value is based on you. You put that work in. Watch this. What I was saying. The purpose. You put that work in and said, this is what it's going to be. That was your goal. Your goal was to, hey, I'm about to set this up. Boom. And you made it happen. And you draw that mug to what? 2020?
It's outside.
Yeah.
No, it's not outside. No, I'm just playing.
It should be dead by now.
Listen, he had the coldest one, and that's what we know. We know Nate with the Chevette, low built Nate. His value, he knew his value. Instead of allowing other people to come in there and be like, oh, okay, well, they're not this. And see, when that comes in, when you don't know your own value, you'll accept anything.
Okay, I'm looking at it from the aspect of, oh, look, this Harley coin from a Harley shop in Virginia. Any of you guys want it? No.
Okay, wait.
It's not valuable to y'all. It's not valuable to y'all. But it's
but that's yours. That's my point exactly. That's yours. It's valuable to you.
But it stands by itself. So if I'm a coin, I'm valuable to Nick, not Mel. So the value comes from outside sources because I'm not valuable to.
No.
Okay, well, I mean,
no. Your value has to come from within. Do you know who you would date? Do you know the type of person that you would date?
My value,
Do you know the type of value you would date?
Yes, I know, but she has to be valuable to me. I date Nick. Nick is valuable to me. She's not valuable to you. So her telling you she's valuable.
But how valuable is Nick to Nick?
What? That doesn't matter to me.
It does matter.
Why not? If I'm not valuable to myself, how am I valuable to you?
Because guess what? All the dudes in this chat and all the women seen some little hood rat or something about her that you just really loved about her. And she may not have cared that much about herself. And you just wanted to love and this, that, and other. To you, she was valuable.
Let me, okay, let's do this. Here we go. I'm just going to do this for the people in the back. All the way in the back. This term is actually self-esteem. High value man or woman, high value, that is self-esteem, high self-esteem. So this value word term here is for self-esteem, because real talk is always, how do you better yourself? You know what I mean? How am I bettering myself emotionally, mentally, physically? And that's why I gave you that example of Bill Nate in the Chevette. He putting in that work.
But that was
he
for me.
He values himself. So if you don't think you value yourself, don't worry about it. Your cuz got your back. And we'll leave it that way. It is what you think of you, because how do you expect other people to value you if you don't value yourself? Just like Nick said. Listen, a job. If you and people go get any job you could get if you don't have no job and quick get out of other folks' pocket. Let me say that.
Agreed.
Some people refuse to work in certain places because they value themselves as being, I'm better than that. I'm not going to work there.
Well, don't come over here asking me for. Okay, I'm sorry.
That part. And I thought, yes, he is a high value male. He definitely is. And even though all those women went against him, he didn't waver. He knows his value. And I guarantee you, every last one of the women that was against him on that stage, they went home and thought about that. Would they date this guy? Absolutely. Because you know what that told me? I saw leadership in him. I saw that he'll tell me no. I saw, hey, if I want to spend this money, oh no, he's going to tell me, we're not doing that. And I'm going to be okay with that, because I know that that's a great decider. He's a great decision maker. Versus somebody who just lets you do, and I'm speaking to the ladies out there, how many of you guys would like a yes man every day, all day? Mm-mm. Come on back on the screen. I've seen you over there.
She'll get bored. You'll get bored.
Many, huh?
Women get bored.
Women get bored. But if you keep saying yes, yes, yes to me, do you have my best interest at heart? Because that's not the best interest. That's almost like the R. Kelly crew.
I'm just trying.
Enablers. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to hang around so I can still smash. Yeah, whatever you like. Oh, really? I like liver and chitlins. That's great. Whatever you like, just to keep in your thing. But
no, because guess what? After a while, I'm gonna get bored with that, and you ain't gonna get that neither.
Exactly.
That's why some people feel like they're nervous about a female president. Because
I just know
the makeup of women and how we change our mind and we're our feelings.
Feeling that, and she's going up against the good old boys thing. If President Obama couldn't do what he wanted to do because the powers that be, that every door was slammed in front of him every time he tried to make a move. And as soon as Trump got in the first time, he tried to erase everything that man laid down. What do you think they're going to do for a woman? What do you think they're going to do to a woman? Now, let's look at President Obama's, what he had. He had Michelle behind him, who was powerful in her own right, but she was behind him to cheer him on in the natural state of things.
Mm-hmm. And that's fine. Yeah. Do I think that she's high value? I looked at her resume. Absolutely.
Well,
and she had a high value male man before he was president.
Mel, you had a pretty nice basketball game. You can back down, and you had a nice little left hand when we was coming up. At no time am I putting you in the NBA in the league with guys. You don't belong there.
Oh, I ain't gonna go there. I'm not gonna do
that. Take that analogy and put it to her. She's great at that, and she has a resume and stuff like that. But we ain't gonna put her at offensive guard or defensive tackle because she don't belong on that field. And I mean,
so you think that the president is a man's job?
I think that the country's ran by men. I think that everything built around here is ran by men.
And that's why it's a mess now.
Is it? Is it a mess now, or is it because we say, okay, well, we have to have diversity?
So that sounds like you said that women is valued more, but it sounds like you're saying what I hear is that a man is valued more.
No,
it should be.
We're not valued. We're not thanked for being a garbage man, for building stuff, for doing construction. We're not thanked for that.
I thank you.
Well, that's just what we do. Here. Oh, I had it. Golly, it's what I said before. She's a woman that's powerful. Why is she trying to be strong? Why is she trying to be strong? She want to be the strongest man in the country or whatever. Why? You're a woman. You're the most.
She's very feminine.
She is pretty nice. She is, I pay attention to her every now and then.
And she's calm.
That too, but she has a whole institution of racism that's what, 500, 700, 800 years old on the low end.
So she shouldn't. So she.
No.
You know where I was going. You know where I was going.
It's going to be a hard and tough road that she's going to have to fight everything. She won't be able to tell you, church should still be held on Sunday. No. We should be, Wednesday's a good day for church to be held on now. I mean, think about it. Think about the next move after she's in. What can she do when you got every snake in the world working underneath you and you need their support?
Oh, listen. What's your thoughts on Queen Elizabeth? What's wrong?
That's a different structure.
Why? Because it doesn't affect you.
No. Because she was never voted. She's never voted in. She was born into that. So my son, he was born, so he will take my cameras and he will continue. Now, if my cameras run the King of England, that's just, hey, we got to accept it. Yo, we around Nate's and he got all the cameras and his son comes up just like Jerry Jones's son. He'll be the next owner. They're not going to vote who's going to be the next owner of the Cowboys. There's no vote. Everyone knows who's going to get it. So I can't. Queen Elizabeth is off. They don't vote over there. So I mean, it's a different everything.
Okay.
It's a different everything. So we can't.
Okay. So that's your thoughts on Queen Elizabeth. Okay. Look, and she is born. So you gave the facts. That's that she was born into it and wasn't voted into it. But you would not have voted her in?
What? I'm sorry?
I said you wouldn't have voted her in?
Voted Queen Elizabeth?
Mm-hmm.
I can't answer that. I mean,
I'm just asking. Look, I'm just asking for the sake of asking. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, and this is why I like that gold card thing, because, even though I have my reservations, I'm going to get her. I'm going to just say, Camilla, cha-ching. She's going to still get it by
Kamala. Kamala.
Yes. We
did. I'm glad you shared that.
We just did learn that.
Yeah, we went over, so I wasn't able to talk about everything, but let's hurry up and get on these chicken wings. What about the lady that got 9 years for stealing 1.5 million chicken wings? She was over the kitchen at the schools, the food services at the schools. So they finally went on and
she finally got sentenced, because we covered that a while ago. I remember talking about that.
9 years for stealing some chicken wings.
How many years?
Shortage. Look, we had a shortage. That's where they was at.
How many years?
9.
For chicken wings? They went overboard.
Nah, that's an exorbitant amount. And
yes, but they still went overboard.
If I can't get my flats at a place, I got an attitude. So she hurt a lot of brothers. She hurt a lot of black people.
They still went overboard for chicken wings, especially when sometimes.
How much? How many tons?
I don't know how much it weighed, but it was $1.5 million.
Well, 100. Yeah, that messes with the economy.
So she should go down. She should go down because you couldn't look. Because chicken wings is now $1 and not 10 cents no more.
Get my flats. Well, I mean, is she black or white?
She black. So now, what's the difference?
Because she might be taking them for her family and stuff. She ain't just taking them to be mean, to mess with you niggers. And our next is watermelon and grape soda. So yeah, that's why I asked the color.
I can't believe it.
Lord,
All right, let's cover
why?
this real quick. Let's cover this real quick. Work with us, people. Stay with us 1 second. I'm looking at the time there. Okay. Here's the deal. There's this couple that's having a wedding. And they are charging their guests. So they send an invite, and each guest has to pay $450 to attend their wedding. Are you going?
No.
Hell no.
No.
And they put out all this money to get all this stuff, and then they send it out, so ain't nobody coming. They didn't wasted so much money, and they mad because people ain't paying $450 to come see their wedding.
Do you think people should pay to come to your wedding?
No.
Now the interesting part, I was watching where he actually said they spent like $200,000 for their wedding. First of all, why would you do that and expect people to pay you back?
Right.
But $450 for a wedding. Watch this. Some people have paid that. The destination weddings, you had to pay to get there.
Mm-hmm. Ain't no divorce. If I got to pay to come to there, oh no, y'all figure that out.
Hey, listen, look, your boy cheating. You're gonna be like, get that together. I done spent $400.
I paid to come see y'all. Because if not, you gonna make me put $450 out of your. So
reimburse me for my airfare, my tux, my room, and then y'all can talk divorce. But until that time, y'all better fake it till you make it.
Now, y'all already know my answer.
Like Al Green said, let's stay together.
Okay. I have issues even with that because the $450, that's a big ticket. But I have issues going to someone's birthday party. Remember Shimmy was talking about his birthday party? I said, listen here, if I got to pay to get in, you're not getting a gift.
Uh-huh.
I have a problem going to someone's birthday party or being invited to somebody's birthday party and I have to pay. And the thought is there, just like that one. If you can't afford it, don't have it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, my birthday is quarterly. I got bills I need to pay, so I wear.
Some people do be having them rent parties. Remember how they did on Good Times?
I just started.
They have a birthday party.
$10 at the door. I remember them parties.
10.
Listen, y'all had you been to a rent party?
$5, $10 at the door, $2. I remember when it went up. Yeah.
I'd have loved to have been a part of a rent party.
Those be the best party, the basement parties, and you love
rent party.
Hey, the kids never.
That's what they was, rent parties.
Hey,
I thought that was just some Good Times. I would have loved to go.
Baby. If Sarah was doing all the time down there in the projects.
A mortgage party.
I don't have a more. Yeah. I have one.
Yeah. Look.
Yeah. I have a mortgage.
You have to tell this business. I don't have that no more. They're rich on this show. Them folks rich.
Hey, look. They don't know the joys of the red light basement parties. When you grind, remember having your back bent over, girl. But they ain't got no raps no more. What songs we gonna play down there?
Yes.
My A-hole's brown and this is pink and we used to listen to Luther back then.
Get it sexy. Get it sexy.
I ain't promoting that broad. She's a hot mess. And they keep putting it in your head. That repetition make you say that's a hit, which is not.
Programming.
No.
Program.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yep.
Listen, all right. I see somebody in the comment talking about some rent parties are the best. Yeah. Listen, let me know when you're having a rent party. I'm going to a rent party.
I'm having a mortgage party. 20s are in,
No, we supposed to be having a moo party, but ain't nobody saying that about the date. But anyway, that's
I got the place though.
We're definitely.
I got the place.
You can't. Well, here's the thing. Let me say this: you can't just have a party and be like, boom. It takes planning. You got to see who's available. So it's not like, hey, y'all busy? No, we're booked. That doesn't happen. Rent parties though. I'm down for a rent party. That is so fun. That's better than the GoFundMe because nobody want to do nothing now.
Well, see, the rent party, you usually get a plate and you get that special Kool-Aid with the little taste in it. You know what I mean? The red light downstairs. And then it's always slow music playing. So you
want to make sure that the rent party that you at and the plates that you eating, they ain't got roaches. If they got roaches, you ain't eating nothing.
Well,
listen, if they got roaches, leave your coat and big stuff in the car.
In the car.
That's it. That's it.
That's
Done
what they
that
need to
too.
bring back. Rent parties. And here's the thing: rent parties was at somebody's house. You into the house here, you saw it. This is what we doing. It was a good, it was a good gesture. And they gave you something to just sit around and we're gonna hang out and we're gonna get this money for this rent. You got your rent.
Yep.
Now, now if they smoking weed and now that it's recreational, I don't want none. Y'all gonna have to stick with the gummies. They should have just
outside.
a bowl of gummies if that's what you want to do, and call it a day. But I definitely come to a rent party. Nick, you had a rent party and invite me with your people. Like I should have been at the rent party.
Them parties was fun. I'm telling you. Oh my
Now some people will have parties at halls and want you to pay for the hall. Like, don't have it and be done. Watch this. Would you go to a male's rent party or a female's rent party?
You already know. Ain't no woman gonna go to no male's rent party. If a guy's on a rent party, y'all he broke. That's tacky. This, that, and that.
Let me tell you something.
But Shika's third rent party, you're gonna be like, she be making them bologna sandwiches with the cheese, and she just need our help.
There's this one guy at home that's been on his own in his own place since we was teenagers, and he had rent parties. And I never went to one of his parties, but everybody in town, when he said he was having a party, Kipper had a party.
That's just a party. That sounds like a party.
No. It was a rent party.
But this is what I'm gonna say.
Even by you saying that, I know
this is what I'm gonna say. As seeing a guy throw a rent party on a regular, that's whack. That's a turnoff. So you're right, Nate, on that one. Seeing a female have a rent party, I'll take it off you. Seeing a female have a rent party,
I feel good, Mel.
I'll be like, all right, how often is she gonna do that? Okay. Seeing a couple have a rent party, it's off the chain. If it's a married couple, I'm like, okay, they working, they are trying. But I'm not just gonna give you something, just like, here you go. Just like the GoFundMe, that stuff be bothering me. It depends on the situation. If it's like right now, then okay. But you knew this day was going to come. Now, if you are struggling and you have to cut costs, then okay. But you can't be having your nails and your hair done all the time and you ain't got no insurance. And you want me to do what? Can I get a spaghetti dinner? Something? Can I get something? Can I give me something? That's all I'm asking. Look, okay, right. Doing a rent party is just like it is having a club in your house. But I'd have loved to go. See, that's a good thing, a good gesture. Some people will donate and just say here. But when you're trying to actually help somebody, I think that matters, which takes us back to that those are high value people that will come and support. You want to do better. You're helping the community. How do you feel about yourself? That's what it boils down to me. And for him to lower his standard or for her to lower her standard because you said that they ain't worth a dime, that's a problem for me. I just think you just can't meet my standards and you mad. So that's why air quotes all that. What you got?
I agree to disagree.
Okay, we back on that.
I mean, I just think value is external. I think value is external, not internal. I think you said it, a person's self-esteem, that's internal. Value is external because I'm not valuable to you.
Okay, so let's say this. High value man or woman. That's, to me, that's the self-esteem. Did you accomplish your goals? What's your purpose? You're doing good. And that's you.
Self-esteem.
But high value, where we talk like an object, like you were showing the actual object,
right?
Then yes, that would be outside.
Well, because using that dude as a thing, his value
as a thing.
Well, his value, her value to him wasn't there. No matter what she made, where she worked, how she took care of kids, she had a kid. Her value was she didn't have any value to him, no matter what she did. So her self-worth and all her self-value.
I get what you're saying.
Right.
I get
But guess what? As soon as the girl to work at Burger King with no kids come around and she looks good and got that right, that onion, that turd cutter is right, and he sees value in that. So he'll go after her on Burger King because she holds value to him because she doesn't have kids. Now the girl who has kids and has a career making six figures, he's still like no value to me. She can have.
I get what you're saying from the outside. I get
right.
I get
value is external, not internal.
Okay, esteemed by society. I get what you're saying.
Right.
I get what you're saying. But watch this though. She'll eventually, if he picks her up. And I'm not saying everybody in there, get off my back, is, working at McDonald's or whatever doesn't have value, because I'm sure they have it for themselves. But usually when you have a high value male or female goes and gets someone who others may feel as though they are not valuable. That's why I said, I get where you're going. That was a great analogy.
I always try to bring it home.
And then watch, what happens is, boom, they pick them up and now they feel as though that they have value.
Yes. Yes.
And other people, because people will date people according to who they dated.
Everyone knows somebody like, how the hell did they get together? How did she get with him? Or how did he get with her? Everyone has that. So, I mean, hey, the dude that was, making all this money and all this, seen value in the girl on fries. Look at that wrist motion.
Because you like fries, so that's valuable to you.
Fries bring home every night. Himself. Fries were prepared and made by God himself. Idor Park with malt vinegar and ketchup.
Woo! Idor Park fries, yes.
Yeah.
That whole value. The people that ain't never experienced it, they don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know. Do not know. Okay, so that question was posed there. Does value mean money or character? Character.
No.
See, you say why you think it means money?
My character is my character. I don't mean
that's
money.
Why I say value is internal. Go ahead.
No. My character to you means nothing. Value is in the eye of the beholder. Because hey, Mel, I got great character but no money. Do you find that valuable? No? Okay, Nick, I got great character but no money. I just love a dude to make me laugh.
Yeah, you can be a valuable person. You might have
exactly.
You might have the talents. You might have great talent, sir.
It doesn't mean
exactly.
Look at Nick like exactly.
That's
okay. You might have great talent. That's valuable. All right, listen, we got to go to the close. I got to give you today's footnote. We're going to talk about the high value thing. Okay, make sure that we get this clear since we're going back and forth. Value, just as Nate was talking about, is like how much. Like I said, how much something is deemed valuable or esteemed by society. That's his way of thinking, being whatever, an object, whatever it could be. I'm looking at it from a high value person. And I already told y'all, you know what, I'm gonna answer that question. It's not just money. Let's blend it together. It's not just money. Let me finish, because I got to do this show. It's not just money or possessions like what you have, his Harley that he showed. But it's like your kindness, your character. Like you. Are you setting your personal goals and are you achieving them? Giving and helping others. That's where I'm a high value person. Can we do this easy without this person? Now I'm going to say, yeah, you can do things, but can you do it easy without this person? You know what? If we had this person on our team, we could probably get it done better and faster and easier. So I guess value is in the eye of the beholder. Oh, hey, listen, I love you guys for coming on. We had Jaladah on today. We're going to do an exclusive and talk about all the politics. Look, the politics in politics. Get all our questions answered. I saw a lot of your questions and we didn't get into it. We want to talk about the difference between or what is an electoral college vote. We'll talk about all that good stuff. So Jaladah, thank you for coming on. the crew, I thank y'all for coming on. We done ran over as we did. We're going to have a good time. We're going to visit this and we're going to get into it. High value man versus a high value woman. That's next week on ShopTalk. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always, always love you. Until next week, people, we know what it is. 1, 2, 3.
ShopTalk.
ShopTalk.